Okay, let's talk about these 6 lifestyles. I bet you already have an idea what kind of lifestyle is yours. So let's talk about the first one, Eros type of love. It's defined as a passionate physical and emotional love based on aesthetic enjoyment. So this type of love is a very typical love style, and it is commonly described and portrayed in different media, in different stories. So basically, it is a highly sensual, intense, and passionate style of love. And this type of lovers, they choose their loved ones by intuition, by something called chemistry. So they are more likely to say that they fell in love at first sight than those of other love styles, such as I have a crush on someone. I don't know the reason, I just have a feeling about this guy. So the attributes of this type of love is sentimental, is commitment, is a type of passionate and romantic love. And this type of lovers, they would view marriage as an extended honeymoon and sex as an ultimate aesthetic experience of their love. So this type of lovers, they want to share everything about themselves and they want to know everything about their loved ones. So their love is pretty intense and they often idealize their relationship partner. And if they have to face a separation or some criticisms from their loved ones, they would experience lots of pain, lots of despair. So this is the first type of love, and we can, as I said earlier, we see lots of examples in media, in novels, in stories, such as the classic love story Romeo and Juliet, and another movie, The Bridges of Madison County. So this couple in this poster, this woman, she is a married housewife. One day he ran into this guy, and this guy, I think he's a journalist. And this woman, even though she was married and she fell in love with this guy within just 4 days of, spending these 4 days together. And she loved this guy for the rest of her life until, she died. So we can see that this type of love, it's not reasonable, it's pretty intense. We call it Eros type of love. It's something based on intuition, something based on chemistry. Let's talk about second type of love, ludus. So ludus lovers are often players. So they are interested in the quantity of a relationship instead of the quality of the relationships. So they would view that love is a game or a sport, and they just want to have as much fun as possible, and they rarely or never become overly involved with their partners. And sometimes they could have more than one partners at the same time. We call them game playing lovers. And they tend to view love as entertainment and love is full of excitement. The relationship development is pretty much like a conquest for them. In a relationship, they don't quite reveal their true thoughts, their true feelings, and they want to gain some advantage from their partners. So if they have to face a separation or if they are dumped by their loved ones, they could immediately move on to the second, to the next relationship and recover from the breakups. So they would immediately look for replacement. And a media example would be the Barney from the movie, from the show, How I Met Your Mother. So he's totally a playboy and he can date with several girls at the same time. Third type of love, storge. So this type of lovers, they are friends at first. And they will develop these romantic feelings, develops gradually out of friendship. And the friendship can even endure beyond the breakup of the relationship if they have to break up. So the storge is affectionate love that slowly develops from friendship, and it is based on similarities. So we can say that this type of love is very peaceful, is very slow, and sometimes people cannot even pinpoint the time when their friendship turns into the romantic feelings. So the stocky lovers, they choose their mates based on similarities, based on some, shared hobbies, shared interests. And they want their significant others be their best friends. So this type of lovers would place lots of importance on commitment and found their motivation to avoid committing infidelity is to preserve the trust between the partners. And if they have to face a separation, they would feel, very empty because they are losing their best friend and feel a big loss. So some media examples here for this type of love is Love and Other Drugs and The Silver Linings. So for both of these two movies, these two couples, they were friends at first. The common, something kind of common for these two movies or for these two couples is both couples are struggling mentally or physically. And they were there to support each other, to help each other. And gradually, this friendship turned into a romantic relationship. So I would say these are two examples of this stocky type of love. Fourth one, pragma love. This type of love, lovers, they would think rationally and realistically about their expectations in a partnership. And they would carefully select their partners according to some compatible, some desirable traits. So they tend to build their romantic relationship as a partnership. So their loved one is actually their partner. So this is a type of love from your head, not from your heart. So these pragmatic lovers, they want to find value in their relationship, in their partners, and ultimately they want to work with their partners to reach a common goal. So this type of lovers, they would carefully weigh the costs and benefits or rewards from this relationship, and then make a very rational decision. Let me give you an example. So let's say when I was looking for a boyfriend, I would keep myself a checklist. So whenever I see someone, I would kind of go through this checklist and check whether this guy has the traits I desire, such as, oh, I can see this guy has a cute face. Okay, this item checked. And I see this guy has very good six packs, very sexy. Okay, this item also got checked. So this is a really realistic and practical way for me to, find my future husband or boyfriend, because I tend to view my future relationship as a partnership. So what I'm looking for is someone who can satisfy all my needs, who can be in a partnership with me. So this is a very practical and realistic type of love. The advantage of this love style is that it's practical, it's realistic, and it's enduring, and it's pretty stable. If these two people, they still have these shared goals, shared interests. So the disadvantage of this type of love is it lacks physical or emotional attraction to each other. So these two people are pretty much like a partner relationship. Some media examples are this couple in the show House of Cards. So the husband is the president, and his wife, I think she is a lawyer. So their marriage is pretty much like a partnership, and they were providing each other the financial and also political in all different aspects, support and advice to each other. Another example, a negative example. Elizabeth in the novel Pride and Prejudice. So basically, this character was intentionally looking for a husband who can support her financially, who can provide her unlimited cash and money and jewelry. So I would say this is also an example of this pragma type of love. Okay, I'm not saying that the pragma type of love is bad. I'm just saying that sometimes people carefully pick their partner or their loved one based on some kind of reasons, based on kind of in a very rational way. And I would say it is very realistic, it is very practical, and this type of relationship tends to be more stable. Fifth type of love, we call it minion. So this is a movie, and this movie describes a story. This guy, he is a really well-known novel writer. And one day when he was trying to deliver his just finished manuscript to the publisher, and he was trapped in a storm, and turned out that this woman, she saved his life. And this woman turned out to be one of his big fans. And the end of this story is that this woman was trying really hard to keep him in her house as one of her properties. And whenever he wanted to escape from her house, and she would kill him. So this sounds a really scary story, but this woman's love represents this fifth type of love, minion. So it is an obsessive love, and the people in this type of love, they would experience great emotional highs and lows. So this type of lovers, they often have low self-esteem and would place too much emphasis or too much importance on their relationships. So they would feel that they need their partners, and love is a means of rescue or reinforcement of the value. So they would think that they own their partner, they own their relationship. And this type of lovers often experience anxiety and insecure feelings, and sometimes they can be extremely jealous. So they are pretty, preoccupied with the relationships. And if they have to face a separation, they are gonna be get into instant panic. So that is the fifth type of love. And the last one, agape type of love. This type of lovers, they are really self-sacrificing, and they are really compassionate. So they tend to think that their partners as blessings, and they want to take care of them. And they get more pleasure from giving in a relationship than receiving. So they are pretty generous. And they would remain faithful to their partners to avoid causing them pain, or they always wait patiently for their partners to come back to their relationship if they are dumped by their partners. So this type of lovers, they are really compassionate, selfless, and they are forgiving, they're patient, understanding. And they tend to, they are willing to make sacrifice for their partners. So if they have to face a separation, they are willing to make any changes or make a compromise if they can get this relationship back. Some media examples are Jack and Rose, especially Jack in the movie Titanic. So he was willing to give up his life to save Lucy. And another example is Edward Scissorhands. So again, I think he was willing to sacrifice his life to save his girlfriend. So I would say it's a very passionate and selfless type of love. So these are the 6 types of love styles, and I hope you like it, and I hope you have a better understanding about your primary love style. So this is our this topics online post assignment prompt. So I'm gonna ask you guys to brainstorm and come up with at least one media example for each type of love. And post your answers or your 6 movies or your 6 media examples on the forum, and then comment on one of your classmates' response.